Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sports Khavri with me, Aradhi and Rishi. And the mood is probably slightly down today because one of India's test greats, Virat Kohli, has announced retirement from the format. It is a weird time given that it's ahead of a big tour to England. It's also weird because in the last 5 months, you've got retirements from two greats of Indian cricket, one in Ravi Ashwin and the other in Rohit Sharma. Um, but this has got to be the biggest of the lot. I don't know if I don't want to say Virat Kohli is a greater test player than Ravi Ashwin or whatever, because I think both of them have been great in their own rights. But it's a massive day because of the figure that Virat Kohli has been, and it's massive because it's also ahead of a big tour, and it's massive also because it's after retirement from two big players in Indian cricket. Given all of that, bro, just first reactions, bro. Rishi, what do you think of it? Like, how did you react? Like, for me, it doesn't even feel real at the moment. Still, it feels like it
Bro,
hasn't even hit me.
I mean, I think it's gonna hit even more when, when we go to England and they name 11 without him, and that is when it's gonna actually hit. But to be fair, there were reports coming out for a while that he has conveyed it to the team, to the management, that he is retiring, and the BCCI were persuading him to reconsider and stuff. So in a way, I mean, reports were out, people were having their doubts, but yeah, today's post just confirmed it all. So, but yeah, bro, I think it's the same feeling that, okay, like, it just hasn't struck yet, because it comes all of a sudden, because a lot of the greats have had their farewell tests, the farewell tours, things like that. So people, like, you know that, okay, this is it. Like, at the end of the innings, everyone's coming, shaking hands, they're giving players guard of honor. In this scenario, there's nothing like that. Like, it's just one post, and he's not going to walk out and play test cricket again. So I think that is what is making it a little bit more difficult to digest.
Yeah, you mentioned it, bro. Virat Kohli joins a list of players, I think, in Indian cricket who haven't had that farewell test from actually probably one of India's greatest, Rahul Dravid, to even Ashwin did not get the chance to get his farewell test. I don't think VVS had a farewell test either. So all of these guys, VVS Lakshman, Rahul Dravid, now Virat Kohli, Ravi Ashwin, just so many test greats who haven't had that moment. But yeah, it's super weird. Just quickly, let's look back at Virat Kohli's test career, just in terms of numbers. It's been massive from way back in 2011 when he made his debut against the West Indies to playing his last test against Australia. He's played 123 games in all, 9230 runs, average of 46.85. I saw Tanay Tiwari did a post as well for him, and he said that um, people who haven't seen Virat Kohli will look back and say, "Oh, what? He doesn't have an average of 50. Is he a Test great? Like, is he a legend of Test cricket?" I think while he doesn't have an average of 50, while he hasn't hit the 10,000 run mark, he brought like a revolution to Indian Test cricket the way it's played. Um, After Saurav Ganguly and Anil Kumble, probably the fiery character that was needed for Test cricket, especially when he was captain. So he did so much more than just scoring runs and sort of contributing with numbers at the end of the day. So yeah, Adi, bro, what's the feeling, bro? What's it like this morning?
I mean, for me, honestly speaking, I'm pretty content with it. It's not like it is not such a thing as okay, the sad day. I mean, sure, you can say, you lost the greatest Indian cricketer ever to play, but he's still playing ODI. He's still going to play for RCB. And me personally, I think it was it was not a point of he should be retiring, he should step down, whatever. But he did it on his own will, and if he's content with it, I think as fans and at least me, I'm fine with it because I've seen his journey, bro. Like at least for the past 10 years in cricket, especially in Test cricket, the way he got India back. What we were eighth, ninth ranked Test when Dhoni retired and when Kohli came in, and since then till 2022, where he got us in the England Test series, leading 2-1 for the first time, and then you had that COVID break, etc., which was unfortunate. But till then, the effort he put, the way he spoke about Test cricket every time in his press conference, in any interview, even the statements he put out. He was the only Indian captain I've ever seen, like at least me personally, what I've seen, three of them. But him personally, actually, he knows his stature, and the way he spoke saying India need to play Test cricket, they need to dominate Test cricket. He's the only modern cricketer who said that, Test cricket is the highest form of cricket. You need to respect it. He put an effort for it since day one when he became the captain. He emphasized on the importance of Test cricket. He emphasized on, bringing his priority when he became the captain was Test cricket over ODIs, over T20s. So you could see that the way he spoke, the efforts he put in. And then, as I said that time also, like the way it ended for him as a Test captain, I think that's the day for him. It ended a lot in Test cricket, at least me personally, because a guy who put so much effort in Test cricket, just snatching the captaincy out of his hand for no reason, no real reason. It was not like he was having a downfall of a Test captaincy era where he's not been able to win Test cricket Test series. It was not like India were in a bad period where you had to take, the captaincy out. Even the Test team we see today, the majority is his work. It's not anyone else's work. His work, Ravi Shastri or whatever it is. But me personally, what I've seen was Virat Kohli who did all the work for India in terms of Test cricket. And I felt like that day itself, I felt like his something. It was different with Virat, with at least Test cricket. You could see the way, I don't want to say effort in batting, but it's just overall, I think for me personally, Virat not being the Test captain for India, for me, it changed a lot. I really thought like it doesn't make sense for him to give more to this team when, they don't have the basic respect of, keeping him as a Test captain. And I think that comes till today also because there were reports saying he wanted to become the Test captain again, even after the Australia Test series. I think there was a report saying that he went and requested the BCCI saying he wants to come back as a Test captain, and they rejected it. I think that shows that for him it's like if he's not the Test captain, I think for him it's more like there is nothing more I can give to the Test cricket. Let someone else take the reign, and he's happy and content with his career. And I think it's the same, at least for me. Like I'm happy that he stepped away from this team, and when overall you look at his journey, he was not treated the best. And going out on your own will, I think is the best thing you can do, unlike some other players.
He's 36. Would be turning 37 later this year. It's not a bad time to retire. It's an age that a lot of the Test greats have also retired around 37, 38. But nice to have seen him play in England for one last time, I guess, and maybe that farewell game probably back in India would have been something special because that's what Sachin Tendulkar got. Again, as we mentioned, a lot of the greats didn't get it, but it would be nice maybe for him to get a nice little farewell. But yeah, bro, Rishi, just looking back at Virat Kohli's games actually, and you go back, memory really like takes you back to Australia, I guess, where you saw some of his best knocks. Any favorite for you?
Bro, the Adelaide Test where he was, taking the piss out of Mitch Johnson. That I think that the first one, and the complete contrary of the Edgbaston Test where he just completely blocked out Anderson. I think Anderson bowled like what 10, 12 overs, and then I don't think he scored much runs, but he just kept blocking him off. Like the runs were squeezed out, but I mean it was coming from the other end from the other bowlers, but like Anderson was just not able to get the better of him. I think these two innings will always be the first when I think of Virat's Test innings, because like they showed complete opposite of their, like I feel these are two polar opposite innings. Like one is you're taking on Australian bowlers in Australia, you're not just taking them on, you're like beating the pulp out of them. And then in England in tough conditions, in Anderson, I don't think you can get a tougher condition than Anderson moving the ball around in England. So then over there also you are completely blocking him out, not giving him an inch. So I feel these two were like for me the epitome of his Test batting innings.
Yeah, I don't think you can forget Adelaide 141 and 115 in 2014. That was just special. That series in general, with a very poor Indian side, it was only Virat Kohli who stood out. Scored 100 again in Melbourne. Scored 100 again in Sydney. Like it was stuff of dreams. I think, especially that kind of a series to have in a place like Australia, in a team that really struggled, is special. Like uh, that was probably one of his most prominent test series. For me, I go back to 2011-12, just simply because I was one of Virat Kohli had just come in, he was fresh to the setup. I didn't play the England tour, but played in West Indies, then went to Australia straight away. So two big away tours for him, and it was always going to be tough. But again, like bro, he stood up. Getting hundreds in your first tour in Australia is no mean feat, and yeah, uh, I don't know what to say. Like he was a resilient player. He was a resilient guy, and yeah, bro, like fair play to him. Adi, any favorite innings? Virat Kohli.
I mean, again, I think the 2013-14 Australian Test series, at least for me, that was like when I knew like, okay, this guy is serious. Like that was the first, I think, mark for most of us saying, okay, this guy is going to be one of the best. Even in that series, not even in Test cricket. I remember, I think they played the Tri series also at that time, and it translated in every form. Like you could see, okay, this guy is the big deal. He's a big shot, and it was more of the mentality. I remember he did certain things on the ground. He was there to back it up. The entire aura of him playing that Test series, where he's the only one who was fighting for the team that game. I mean, that's entire series. No other guys really showed up. Senior players were there. They never really showed up. The ballers nearly never showed up. It was only one guy playing Test cricket against 11 of Australia. I think for me that was the biggest like stamp saying, okay, yeah, this guy is a serious guy. And apart from that, I think overall, bro, like I think even like the away tours where whenever we went, like even against South Africa, I remember, I think he has one or two centuries in South Africa, but the one
As
century,
a
one,
105th century. Yeah.
yeah, he scored 157, 3, 4, something like that. 150s. I remember watching that test innings, and I think that was his. Me personally, I think that was his best because those conditions were the toughest conditions to bat on. Like those conditions were such uneven bounce was there on that pitch. If you guys remember, like, and I remember it was Morne Markle bowling, and it was like it's tough to go against these guys. Like you, with the height they have, the way you have to bat there, it was very tough. And I remember the way he handled him. Like I think that's one of my favorite innings because I feel like that was a very tough. I think that test pitch was very tough to play at, and I think going to South Africa, I think any Indian batsman who go to South Africa recently, if you're able to score centuries, I think that's the biggest feat in Test cricket right now because I feel like South Africa have the toughest Test cricket pitches, at least for me. So yeah, I think some of that.
It leaves us in a weird place, bro, Rishi, like that. Uh, we don't have India's number four, which is which we know is an auspicious position for I think 35 years, 30 years easily, no, 35 years. It's been occupied by just two people, and now we're
Hmm.
looking for India's next number four. Where is that next number four? Who is that next number four?
I mean, bro, big shoes to fill. Like
Very
whoever is
big.
gonna come in, like surely time has to be given, and there's gonna be immense pressure. And I don't think there's gonna be anyone, like at least in the immediate aftermath. I don't think there's gonna be anyone new who's gonna come in and be slotted at four anyway. Like the most likely scenario might be that they just push Gill down to four and have another number three. Might be Sai Sudarshan. I don't know. Like at least I'd like to see more of Sai Sudarshan in the test setup. Like again, I know England is not an easy place to go to, but it's a good start. Like at some point, these guys have to start playing, so it's okay. And since it's his first series, and I don't think there's going to be a lot of pressure on him also. So it's okay, a tough learning curve, but it's going to be good nonetheless. So personally, I would like to see this being the, like, at least the immediate stopgap. And yeah, if it works well, I because India, the BCCI are already looking at Gill as a long-term captaincy option. So I don't think they would have any sort of problems either in him being the next number four. And if things go to plan, I think I think that was the natural, like, path that they would have envisioned as well. But yeah, it's a tough spot to fill. It's a big shoes to fill. So whoever comes in is not going to have an easy task at all.
Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli, and Shubman Gill, maybe. Adi, does that sound right to you?
What do you mean?
Next number four. If he is,
Uh,
he is India's
See,
next.
for me, I think I've told Jenny that Gill, I think his perfect spot right now can be number four, just for the fact that number three hasn't worked out for him, not because he can play well in number four. But again, when I talk about replacing someone like Virat, like when Sachin retired and Virat was supposed to be number four, it was because it just was not handed to him. It was because he already proved that he can play Test cricket. He already proved that he can be one of the best players in cricket, and also had that mentality that I can play this place. I think you have to have strong mentality and back yourself. That thing needs to be in you. Me personally, I think the best option who has shown in the Indian team that can do this consistently is Shreyas Iyer. He hasn't played much of Test cricket, but overall in ODI cricket, he's backed himself up, come back, played ODI cricket again when people wanted to drop him. Was best one of the best batsmen in the World Cup, best batsman for India in Champions Trophy. And I think he has a mentality as a guy overall, bro. Like you look at last year with KKR, won them the IPL, came to Punjab this year, not even once ever disrespected any franchise. And we know what Punjab has been all over the past 18 years of IPL. We know what Punjab is. Even the last 3-4 years, we know how Punjab was. And taking that same side this year, they should have been top of the table if you actually look at it. Two games washed out, one game, unfortunately, you know what happened. So they lost 4 points there. You don't know where they could have been. They could have been in top of the table. The way he's captained them. And I think he has a mentality overall to back himself. There are a lot of players, a lot of coaches who've come out and told that Shreyas Iyer, his greatest skill or like his greatest character is his confidence in the way he backs himself. I remember like Ashdeep Singh or someone who said the same thing also. So like I've seen that on the field, the way he backs himself up. I don't think he cares about the media much. I think he doesn't care about the pressure. I think he's out there to just prove himself right and play the game the way it has to be. And I think for me personally, he's the best guy to come at number four, at least for the short term. I think guys like Sudarshan, I think there's still so much more time for him to come and play there. But for now, I think Shreyas, for me personally, should be the man at number four at least.
Interesting. Rishi, like again, just quickly, Shreyas says obviously his Test average is not great. 36 is he averages in Test cricket. A lot of questions over his batting in Test cricket. But for you, was there a shout for
I think it's
Rahane
more
or?
than
Hmm?
than similar to Gill, right? Like the same Test average, and he's only played 14 games. Let's mind you.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
think.
But at the end of the day, I think like he's batted lower in the order. Should be a little easier to bat when you are batting a little lower in the order. But yeah, that's just the context that I'm giving you there. But Rishi, any shout for Rahane or Pujara to get back into the team? Like then neither of them have retired from Test cricket, by the way. So.
They haven't retired, but again, how old are they? Like they're again same age as
As
Virat
Virat, bro. Yeah.
Kohli, if I'm not.
Yeah, same.
Huh?
Pujara is
Yeah,
37. I think
like
Rahane
see,
also 37.
Pujara is 37 and Rahane is what 36. So
Yeah.
I mean, sure, I don't. There's no big harm in them coming, but then the way the team is going, the way the setup is going, they at least they have the voices that have come out from the camp is that they want to go in a younger direction. They want to, they want to push for a long term solution. So that doesn't match with it. But I get it that if you want to go to England, you need the experience. You need somebody who has already been there and is familiar with the conditions. Pujara has already played a lot of county cricket over there, so he must know the
Lot.
conditions at
Even
least.
Rahane, so is Rahane. Like this.
Exactly. So I'm sure they will know, like at least now that Virat is pretty much gone, like I'm sure they will know the conditions more than any batter going into England. So for the immediate future, I don't see a problem in either one of them coming back. But then, like, this is what I mean. It doesn't go in tone with what the team has like been repeatedly beating the same drum, and the tune has been that they want to look at a younger direction and not like keep the old guard.
It looks like they were not expecting Virat Kohli to retire. Like
Hmm.
the
Exactly.
noise is that it's not like they were expecting it. So if they want a solution right now, would it not seem reasonable that okay, if you want to bat Gill at 4 and he's your next long term whatever player, big player there, I feel like it would make sense to have Pujara back at 3, like for the England tour at least. Why not?
Okay, for the England tour, and then he does not great. If he, of course, if he does really well, then of course you don't simply drop him. But then he does moderately well. Okay, he's probably our top 3 batters,
Wait,
but
wait, wait,
necessarily
wait.
not
You are
necessarily number
willing
one.
to play. Wait, wait, wait. You're willing to play Pujara, who averaged like 19, 18 for 3 years continuously in Test cricket, went to England, failed in England Test series, failed in the World Test Championship. You're willing to give him another chance at what, 38, 39, versus like giving
37.
whatever, same thing, versus a younger player like Shreyas Iyer or someone else who can come in and actually play cricket? Are you saying a
Yeah,
guy who has,
100%. I
but he
100%.
has
I
an
would
average
I
of
would I would
29
I
wins.
would 100%
Wait,
back
wait,
him
wait, 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 wait,
who's
wait,
done
wait,
World
wait.
Test cricket.
Friends.
Yeah,
Bro, Rahul,
100%.
he
For
failed in
sure.
England. You saw what he happened in World Test Championship.
Ah, so
He
Virat
has
Kohli
an
also has failed
average.
in England.
Wait,
Virat
wait.
Kohli also failed in England. That's not the
He, he,
question.
he,
The
he
point
has an
is
average of 29 in England, so it doesn't
that's
make
fine,
sense to
but
say
he's
Pujara.
but Pujara is
So
one of
that's just
again like
hypocrisy.
I
That's
would
what
say
I'm
Pujara is
saying.
one of India's Test greats. Averages over 14 Test cricket, 43.60, and yeah, has the experience of playing Test cricket in England. And for those conditions, having one player right now as a stopgap, it would be great to have Pujara there. It would also, I think, be the right thing for him. Like, I mean, as in for Indian cricket to do right by him for the services that he's given Indian Test cricket, to give him that shot and make him play in England, and probably that gives him the chance to retire well as well. I'm just
Yeah,
saying, like,
but
I'm
this
just
is,
throwing it out
I,
there.
But
I
I,
would
more
this
than
rather
is
that,
have, I would
not a
but
rather
more
have
than
charity
that,
Pujara
thing.
over
I
Shreyas
just,
Iyer like
would you
twice more.
not like more than that, more than having a fitting farewell, would I think a better
bro,
justification is that he is a much proven like
Oh no, no,
test
hundred
player
percent.
who has
That
been a
is a given.
stalwart.
That is a
He has
given.
been our stalwart number 3 for like ages. He is,
Yeah, yeah.
and like of course his numbers in England is not great, but then
one
Ayer's
second.
numbers
Can I,
test in general is not great.
Yeah,
So if
Rishi,
exactly.
you're
Rishi,
not looking at the long
And
term, if you're just looking for the immediate future, it just makes sense that you go with somebody a lot
bro,
more experienced.
mind you,
I'll tell you
Shreyas
one
Iyer's
thing.
Test
Pujara, one
cricket
thing,
has
bro.
all
One
come in
thing. Wait, wait,
India.
wait, wait, wait.
Shreyas
Wait,
Iyer has
bro.
played his
Pujara,
cricket in
since,
India, Test cricket in India,
bro,
and it's
you're
poor.
telling, you're telling Pujara has been one of India's greatest test players. Since
Yes.
2020, he had 4 years to play for India, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. 4 years of straight test cricket. He's got an enough chance to play and prove for India. He had an average of 20 runs in 2020, 28 in 14 games, 26 innings. He had an average of 28 in 2021. 2022 had a great year, 45 average in 10 innings. And then
Yeah.
again 2023 he had 25 average. So he, out of 4 years, he's gotten enough chances to say you can be here
It's
and
not
prove
about.
yourself.
I don't think it's
Let's
about
not take
chances.
that
I don't
back
think
and say that he hasn't got enough time,
it's
enough
nobody's saying
chance
it's.
to prove
I don't think it's
himself.
about chances. I don't think bringing Pujara back is about chances. It's about doing the right thing right now, which is to get an
It's not the right
experienced
thing. How
number
are you
three.
calling this the right thing without any basis to it?
I'm
Right thing
telling you,
because what, you
I'm
want
giving
to
you
come
the
up with
basis.
fairness?
So
You
one
want to come up
second,
with fairness? That's not the
where is the
deal.
basis for Shreyas Iyer to come into this Test team? He's played freaking 14
I
Test matches and
literally gave
nine
you,
of them have played in He's played in India and he averages 36. Where is the basis for him to play Test cricket for India and England?
bro.
There's no
You need
basis
to
for
grow
it.
as a test player, not letting him give the chance to grow him. Let him grow as a test player, bro. My point is, if you want to look at the future, you have to look at what it is now. You can't look at what it is at the past. Even with
You're
Virat,
telling me Shreyas Iyer
even
is
with
going to be
Virat,
India's next long-term number 3 or number
dude,
4?
I want
Realistically,
him to
give
be
me that.
right. Rahul, you asked me a question. Who should be the next number 4? I'm talking
I'm
about
asking
right
you
now.
realistic. You're saying you want to build for
Realistically,
India's
I'm telling you
future.
what my expectations are.
Realistically, do you think Shreyas Iyer is going to be India's next long-term number 4? Do you see it
Right
happening?
now, he should. Right now, he should be. If he
No,
can
you're
back himself
saying we
up
should
there,
build, right? Do you see Shreyas Iyer
what?
being India's long-term number 4?
Rahul, can you understand English? Right now, he should be. If he fails in that area if he's given enough chances, fair enough, bro. You got a chance. We have to look on, move on. If he stands there, proves himself like the way Virat did when Sachin retired. I'm not saying the same stature, but go play your game, contribute for the team, play well. That's all. If he does that, sure, you can be the number 4 until you're gone, until you're not there, until you're not there anymore, or until you think you can't play there anymore, or until the team decides you can't be there anymore. Right now, the question is who should be the new number 4. For me personally, I think Shreyas Iyer, just because of his mentality, just because he's shown himself multiple times he can bounce back when people doubted him. He's the only one I think who can take the pressure of playing number 4 because of the media pressure that comes of number 4. I told this before
So it's
also.
nice to say
Anyone
all
who
these
comes,
cute things, but with the bat,
it's
he
not
doesn't have
cute,
it.
bro.
He doesn't have
It's
it.
not
He
cute.
doesn't have it in Test cricket, unfortunately.
You're
It's nice
talking
to
about
say,
it
yeah,
because no,
he
you're
has
saying
the,
Gil has
he
it.
can
You're
come
saying
back, bounce back, and all of that. But at the end of the day, he
no,
has
bro.
to have
I'm sorry. You're
consistency.
telling Gil has it. Gil is this. Gil is that. You're saying
I
KL
never
is
said
this.
anything about Shubman Gill. I never said it. I told
KL
you Shubman Gill
and
was.
Shreyas Iyer have the
I
same
already
test
said
average, my
Shubman Gill's
friend.
position in the Test team is not fixed. I have not seen enough from Shubman Gill, but it looks like the BCCI are backing him. It's not me who's backing Shubman Gill. I'm saying
Bro,
right now,
can I
it's
ask
a
you a simple
big.
question, Rahul? Can I ask you a simple question? You're a
Sure.
big supporter of KL Rahul. You're talking about stats, you're talking about averages. Why is
Yes.
KL Rahul having an average of 33 and you're okay
Mhm.
with him playing test cricket? Please wait. 33 average,
I'm
you're
waiting.
telling, oh, that is good enough to play for India. But a 36 average of 14 games where you've actually not tested him enough to play overall test cricket, you're saying he's not good enough to play test cricket. That is literally hypocrisy. That is just favorism. At the end of the day, even I was not a big fan of Shreyas Iyer, but his cricket, the way he's bounced back, I've also become a fan, and I think it's the best thing, bro. It's
Are
not
you
here to be
asking a
like,
question or giving an
we don't like
answer?
him bad. He doesn't
Are
need to
you
be in the
asking a
team.
question or not?
Yeah. My question is, why is it okay for KL
So
Rahul
then
to have
let
an
me
average of
answer. No, why
3?
are you giving the answer?
Okay, tell.
So yeah,
I'm
KL
not
Rahul first
answering.
thing. Yeah, so I'm answering. KL Rahul first thing. He's played way more than Shreyas Iyer abroad, and everything that you see from KL Rahul tells you that he's the signs that you see from the eye tells you that he's a good test player. He knows what he's doing. He doesn't make too many errors, and
And he
that's
still
what I
has a
want.
lesser average.
You're not letting me finish. So that's what I want
He
from a
has lesser
top
average,
test
bro.
cricketer. That's what I want from
But
a
he
top
doesn't have
test
a lesser
cricketer.
average, Rahul.
Yeah,
You're
of
talking
course.
about average. You're not
If he
talking
played
about
80%
anything
of his games if he played 80% of his matches in India, even he would have a good test average. But of course, you want KL Rahul obviously plays in the tougher conditions,
KL
plays
Rahul
in
has
tougher
gone away
covers.
to Australia and South Africa and have not
Australia,
come in
South
even
Africa,
even when
England, he's played
even when it's
everywhere.
not big runs, it's big innings. Like I've seen him hold his
I'll
guard
give
like
you I'll
against
give
a
you
player who's
another
playing
I'll
in
give you
say your
another clue.
Nagpurs, your Kanpurs, your Chennai's, your yeah, with all due respect, like these are still a lot more favorable conditions than when you're going playing in Centurion, when you're playing in Pretoria, when you're playing in Perth.
So
Yeah.
I'll just give you one thing, Rishi. Shreyas has one game in England and 2 games in South Africa in his entire test career. That's barely anything. You can't make a judgment based on that. You
So
can't say
there's
he's
a
only played in.
reason for it. Like according to me,
Wait. This doesn't make sense. You can't say he's only played in India because, bro, you be realistic. All the test matches till the Australia series was happening in India. You look, the last time India toured outside was basically that England series. After that, every game has been in India. Every test match, England, Australia came to India, England came to India, New Zealand came to India. Every team came to India. Bangladesh came to India. You can't say India have been touring test cricket all over the world since 2022. It was the same conversation with Gill. We were telling he's not done enough, but when you look at it, since 2021, England series and Australia series are the only 2 times they went outside India and played Test cricket. So you can't give that excuse. One more thing, if I want to talk about Gill, I mean, KL Rahul versus Shreyas Iyer average in India. KL Rahul average is 39. It's not like he's averaging 50 in India to say, okay, this guy is playing crazy good in India and also playing crazy good outside India. His average is more in India than outside India. You have to understand that his average decreases when he goes outside India. And my whole point is you have to give someone a chance. I think Chase Iyer can do it. He's only played 14 games. That's not enough to say this guy's not fit for this thing. He's not good enough to play. And if you're talking about technique, this, that, bro, Rishabh Pant plays test cricket. You can't even talk about technique. That doesn't make sense to say technique matters. The way you can play matters. Shreyas has a good technique. You've seen it. He's been able to play a lot. I think he has weaknesses in test cricket. I'm not saying he's a perfect player. My point is the mentality to take number 4. I think he's the best guy who can take it. That's
mm,
all.
yeah, okay, fair enough, but just not for me. I think I'd like to have Pujara back, and if they're going with Gill long term, I'd have Gill at 4. But yeah, just for this England tour, and then you can reassess or whatever. But yeah, Shreyas, I just don't see it. But yeah, dude, let's quickly wrap
Rahul,
up.
Rahul,
Yeah,
yeah, I was, I like, I had a follow up question for that. Now, say Pujara does better than say almost all the batsmen, maybe second or third best, but not, let's say, in terms of huge bulk of runs. But so what do you do after that? Do you just again cast him outside like out of the blue?
We don't have any more red ball cricket now this year. Like, do we have more red ball cricket? I don't
We
know.
have, bro. They have.
We
We're playing West Indies and all, if
We're
I'm not
playing
wrong.
West Indies. Yes, yes, we're playing West Indies at home. I would say if Pujara does have a good series, you finish with Pujara in that West Indies tour and you give him his farewell. If he does well, that is. And he would have deserved it, bro. He deserves, after so many years
Bro,
in Test
just,
cricket,
just,
especially.
bro,
Yeah,
1 second.
Pujara would have deserved it, like to play that one last Test series, and thank you, goodbye. It would be after that for him.
Bro,
And
can I just give you Pujara's stats in Ranji Trophy in the past, like, let's say 5 games? He has 26 and 2, 199, then 6, 14, 2 and 3. Then he had a 234 in October 2024. He had 16-0. Most of them are either single digits or below 20 runs. I don't know where it's coming. Like, Pujara needs a chance again. Like,
bro,
overall, you
it's not
can't
even
just.
needs a chance. Once again, you just said he
Oh,
he
scored a
come
double
doesn't
on.
he
hundred in
doesn't
his last
necessarily
10
need a
games.
chance.
You just said he scored a double hundred in his last 10 games, and he's had a 90 plus score in his last 10 games.
You realize Shreyas has been batting much better in Ranji Trophy, for
Bro,
example.
I don't know what Shreyas Iyer is doing in Ranji Trophy, to
Oh,
be
you
honest.
don't know anything, but you're saying he doesn't need to be in the team. That's
I
even
never
more
said
crazy.
he doesn't. You're not even listening. You just whatever you want to say. That's it.
What did
I'm
you
saying
just say now?
Pujara, for the quality of
You
player he
said
has been
Butara
playing.
deserves a chance ahead of Shreyas Iyer.
I
What does
never
that
said
mean?
Pujara deserves a chance. It's not even about a chance for Pujara. It's about what India need. I think India need an experienced player who has done well in the last whatever number of years. A
He
person who's
hasn't
gone to
done well in
England
the last
multiple
number of
times.
years, right?
A person who's gone to England multiple times. Someone who has experience of playing in these situations, in these conditions. It is Cheteshwar Pujara. He's a top player at the end of the day. And you're still, yeah, of course I would go Pujara over Shreyas Iyer. There's no question about
Rahul,
it.
but his average hasn't been good in England. Like, why are you saying he's the best
Okay,
option right now?
in
What is the
Shreyas Iyer's
my point is, what is the
three
experience?
games, in Shreyas Iyer's 3 games outside India, he averages in the tens.
3 games is not enough, Rahul. He's played 1 game in England versus 20 games for
Yeah, and his
Pujara. You
2 games in
can't
South
say
Africa,
that.
he averages 13 or something.
Bro, 2 games in South Africa, 1 game in South Africa, 1 game in
Bro,
England, and
but
I think one
that's
game
in
in
Test cricket.
Bangladesh.
That is what you get, like especially when you're starting off.
Test cricket, that's
I'm
what you get.
sorry,
That's so
but
convenient
KL
for you to
Rahul,
tell
when he was
that.
given his when KL Rahul
KL's
when he was
failed
given his chance
multiple
in Test
times and he
cricket,
still
he
gets a
took it and
chance.
scored
Like,
a
you
hundred.
can't.
Took it and scored a
Sorry?
hundred with it in Sydney.
What?
Like when KL Rahul was
What?
given his opportunity in Australia, he took it and he scored a hundred on his
Yeah.
debut. I think it was, or
And,
his second
and,
Test.
uh,
Yeah.
and after that, he scored centuries every game. Like, my point is, sometimes people score century in the first game, sometimes people score century in their fifth game.
No, but the
Karun
point
has
is in
scored a
Test cricket,
century.
like
Karun
if
has
you
scored
want
a
to make
triple
a
century
place,
against
you've
Australia,
got to
bro.
perform.
What is your
You've got
reasoning?
to
Like, you
perform,
can't.
and unfortunately, Shreyas Iyer has not performed in Test cricket. That's just it.
Dude, he has an average
In
of
his
36,
14 games is not
not
less.
averaging more than KL Rahul in Test cricket. When you say average matters, doesn't make sense again, Rahul.
KL Rahul has played a lot of Test cricket outside India. That's the thing.
Bro, that doesn't matter. His average
It does
decreases when he goes
matter. What do you
outside
mean it
India.
doesn't matter? It does
His
matter.
average is his best average of 40 comes only in India, Rahul. Even KL Rahul's. His average decreases when he goes outside India. So you
That is the
can't say
point. That is exactly the logical flow I'm following. Of course, you play more Test cricket outside, you'll have a lesser average.
exactly. My point is you're fine with other people having a less average, but you're not even fine with giving him a chance. Bro, my whole point is you're saying Pujara has done so much for the country. You look at his average in the past 4 years, it's not been the greatest. You're, we were talking about Virat Kohli, the same dilemma. You guys were like, let's move on from Virat Kohli, let's move on from Rohit Sharma. They're not there for Test cricket anymore. Their heart's not there after the Australia series. We have to replace them and go with the young people. That was your statement for like literally 4 months ago, and I remember that clearly, vividly. You guys never said we need Pujara back, Rahane back that time when we were talking about replacing Virat Kohli, right? And Rohit Sharma. But today, when actually reality comes where Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli is retired, you're asking to bring back Rahane and Pujara, who have been worse than Virat Kohli and Rahane in Test cricket over the past 4 years. Now, I don't understand how that makes sense to get in Pujara and Rahane back to the Test cricket when they've been terrible for India, worse than Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. Instead of moving forward, as you guys wanted 4 months ago, moving forward, moving away from the old guys into getting into youth. I'm not saying Shreyas Iyer is the right option to be the greatest player. I'm saying right now, I think you have to give him a chance because when else can you give him a chance? Today is the only day. Now today you bring back Pujara. What's the point of valuing Shreyas Iyer? You're not valuing him anymore. You're throwing him aside, saying no matter what you do, it's okay. We're going to look at someone else. I think that's not right. You look at any other player, even if it's not Shreyas Iyer, you get another young player. I think that's the direction India should go to. My opinion is Shreyas Iyer. If India or your direction is get in Sai Sudarshan, get in Dhruv Jurel, someone else, I'm okay with that because that's the direction you have to move in. You shouldn't go back to the past by bringing back Rane, by bringing back Pujara. It doesn't work out. We've seen before it never works out. Why should it work out today? Like, even with the talk of experience, bro, one player, you get in one player of Pujara. What experience? Everybody knows the conditions. You, me, Rishi, all of us know the conditions and
Not
all.
really. That's the
No,
thing.
brother,
That's the thing.
no.
One thing.
Wait,
Adi,
Wait,
one
wait,
second.
wait,
one
wait,
second,
wait,
bro.
Yeah.
wait.
For the reply,
That's not
like
even
for your
respectful.
whole
That's
this one,
ridiculous.
like I completely agree with you that if the team is going in a younger direction, then just focus on it. I 100% agree with you. We are to
But I
get
don't
one second.
agree
Adi,
with.
let me complete. Let me complete. Please let me complete. So if we are going to go in the Sai Sudarshan direction, the Dhruv Jiral direction, 100% back them. The only, like for me, like I don't know for Rahul, but for me the only reason that Rahane or Pujara are even in the conversation is solely because it is England. And you can say that, of course, we know how it's going to be, we know how it's going to move. It's going to move laterally, the clouds are going to come in, it's not going to be as easy as you think it is. But this is not coming from me or you. Of course, we've all played cricket 07, we know how the ball moves like a banana. The point is, every professional cricketer who has come out and spoken publicly about playing in England, your Kumar Sangakaras, your Mahela Jayawardenis, they have, right now their criticism is that when teams go away on tours, there are not enough warm-up games. And all of them, they have a common trait, they have a common complaint that especially when they go to England, it is such a different conditions. Like you have bounce in Australia, okay, you have bounce in South Africa, you have bounce in New Zealand, but when you go to England, you have a condition which is unlike any other. The lateral movement that you get in England is unlike any other. We can say that, okay, if James Anderson is going to bowl on the off stump, if he's going to release on the off stump, it's going to go to the fourth or fifth stump. That is one thing when we are saying it. But when you are actually playing there, unless you have the experience of playing, that is why they've been beating the drums. Even like when the previous Sri Lanka tour, I think it was Sangakkara who was saying that there are no warm-up games. So by the time, before, back in the day when warm-up games used to happen, people, like by the time the actual tests came, people are like accustomed, they know how it's going to be. So it is like, while it is fair that, okay, you need to give a younger player who is in form, somebody who has the experience, who knows how it's going to move there because he has played a lot more, is valuable, because you don't get to simulate these conditions anywhere else. That is the only reason. If we were to
Right.
play this like the same England team, if we were having a home series, definitely Shreyas Iyer, you want Dhruv Jurel, you want Sai Sudarshan, be my guest. But just because we are going away to England, that is a condition where experience matters a lot more. Like we know runs are not coming for Virat Kohli also, but I would close my eyes and take Virat Kohli for this England tour. That is why, like,
I
like
literally
when we were
told you
having
were ready to top him. Both of you
when
guys were literally told. What? That's my whole point. You guys are telling you
No. I
like
agree. I
that.
agree. I remember us.
At
I
that time,
remember
you
saying
guys were
it.
literally
I
backing
remember
for
saying
younger
it.
players,
I
and
remember
the
saying
argument
it.
was let them go to the pits
Correct.
of England,
Correct.
let
Correct.
them learn
No.
from the series,
Yeah, fair
and
enough.
that's my direction I'm going in. And I agree
Fair
with
enough. Fair
that
enough.
now.
Adi, that's why I
No,
said,
no,
if we are
no,
going down the younger route, 100% go down the younger route. But if
no, no.
not, then experience does have a value
Bro,
to, like, have a
right
role to
now,
play.
Dude,
right
one
now,
second.
all I'm saying is it's a situation that nobody expected. Nobody expected Virat Kohli to retire before the series, and now it's happened.
So
Now
it.
I'm looking for a solution just for this tour, which is coming very quickly. And even if you're saying Shreyas Iyer, I don't think Shreyas Iyer has the preparation that a Cheteshwar Pujara does, who plays county, who has played a lot of county cricket, who has also done like
What was?
so
Can
much
you give
more in
us
red ball
stats?
cricket.
Can you give us stats in the county cricket recently? I think that also matters. You can't just say he
Bro,
plays county cricket.
I think Pujara brings a lot more, even from like
Rahul,
basic.
like I'll tell you,
One second. You can't just say Shreyas Iyer because at the end of the day, you need Pujara, who is somebody who plays with soft hands here. The ball is going to move. You will get the edges. Like it will take edges no matter what. And you need those edges not to carry to the slip. And you need somebody who plays with soft hands, which Pujara does.
you have
Shreyas
KL
Iyer is
Rahul obviously to
all
do
I've
that.
seen of him.
You
At
have
Just
KL Rahul to
first
do that.
session,
to
You usually
have
have
first
that.
KL
session,
Rahul to do that
first session,
before.
if we are like if we are 10 for 2, I need somebody who can conveniently score a 20 of 100 by the end of the day.
But
I don't need
Rishi,
somebody who can come in and score 30 of 30 and then, or like even 10 of like 30 and get out.
okay,
Like the odds
okay.
of, like, just the sheer odds of Cheteshwar Pujara hanging in there, like till the end of the day, I'll place bigger bets on that.
I
And
think
I just feel we need somebody like that. That's
we're
it.
making it a lot more about like Pujara and whoever. Let's just quickly wrap
Yeah.
up and
It's
discuss
not about
Kohli.
Pujara though. It's
No,
about
let's just
moving
quickly talk
away
about Kohli
from.
because let's discuss the topic at hand, which is Kohli, which has always been Kohli. And yeah, what are we saying, bro? Like Virat's legacy as a Test player, how does it end as a Test batter?
Probably, I mean, I don't think anyone would argue in saying that he's probably India's greatest Test captain. He reformed the way we play. We looked at tests. We always looked to be the gentlemen, the ones who were okay with being pushed. Like, even the kind of players that we had. Like, of course, we had the fiery players like your Gangulys, like your Yuvraj Singhs, but the whole general temperament of the team was to be the nice guys, like the Dravids, the Tendulkars, who wouldn't talk back, who would answer with their bats, and that was the kind of mentality that we had. Like, but then Virat Kohli comes in, we have no problem going and sledging in Australia. We have no problem giving it to Anderson and Johnny Bairstow. So the fact that he made us think that okay, we can go there and bully them, not just verbally but give it, like while we're like talk walking the walk, we can talk the talk as well. I think he gave us the confidence that we can be that team. I think and of course the numbers, the 5 test maces, going unbeaten in, I don't think he clearly hasn't lost a home series as a captain. All that speaks for itself. So I think he will be our country's greatest Test captain.
Yeah, fair enough. I think it is a massive legacy. What about as a Test batter, Adi?
Yeah, sorry. I think for me, what I've seen, I think again is the best because only for the fact overall, as I said, like he's the only guy I've seen in modern cricket, at least post 2011, 12, after all your Test legends retired, where I didn't get to see much. Like me as a kid, I never watched that much to be like I've seen throughout the career. Virat Kohli is the only guy I've seen throughout his career to see what he's done. And for me, again, from modern cricket, from Indian players, he was the only one who backed Test cricket the most, as I said before. Like he's the only one who spoke about it. He's the only one who tried to grow Test cricket in India. He's the only one who I feel like challenged BCCI to put pressure and grow Test cricket in India more than any other player. Like in that time, like you had a lot of influential players. I don't think anyone really put that pressure like Kohli did. Even the previous captains, etc. Like I don't think they did as much justice to Test cricket like Kohli did. And even as a batsman, I think more than his technique, his batting prowess, I think it was a mentality where he had something different to all the Test batsmen till now, in terms of the way he expressed, the way he never backed down from anyone. I mean, I'm sure like guys like Dravid, or I mean not Dravid, at least Tendulkar, they're not guys who are going to talk. They'll just talk with the bat and move on. I think that's also a different style. But I think Virat was the first guy for me to see where an Indian can speak back and play, like both. It's not just speak and get out. It's like I'll speak, I'll talk, I'll show it on the field, and I'll back it with my batting. I think he was the first batsman for me to see that where he can do both. And I think that is as I said, is a different feeling when you can actually do that. Like you can actually back your talk. I think it's tough in Test cricket, and especially as a batsman to talk a lot on the field and actually back it while batting. I think he's the one who's actually done that for India, and I think that's his character, bro. Like he never backed down like for Test cricket. Even till now, I think he never backed down, and he always had that fire to captain Test India, lead it, India in Test cricket like to glory. I don't think India is the best Test team right now. And when you look at it, like from where we were in 2022, 2021, where every team tried to beat us, even away they couldn't beat us. Like England was struggling to beat us when we went there. Like last time we were talking about England, we were leading 2-1 until the last Test series. I think even Australia, hadn't lost to them both home and away for the 4th Test series continuously. So a lot of I think in cricket in time, people just forget about things and move on very quickly. I think that happens a lot, especially the amount of games you have now. But when you actually sit back and look at it, those days, the way he got the Indian Test cricket to what it was that time, I think no one else could do it. Like it came to an extent where even if Virat Kohli was not batting, someone else is a stand-in captain, they can still go win an away Test series in Australia. I'm not saying everything goes to Virat Kohli there, but the whole point is the mentality of India became where no, we'll fight no matter what. I think that came because of Virat Kohli. He was the first guy to lead that, and I think that mentality instilled in all the players. You could see that also.
Yeah, I think it's a weird day. I think we just end up saying thank you to Virat Kohli for the guy he's been, for the player he's been, and for the captain he's been in Test cricket. We'll get to see him still in ODIs, and of course we don't see so many ODIs, so I don't think he'll be playing much cricket. But obviously for RCB in the IPL as
I
well.
think there'll be more ODIs now, no? Till the World Cup, they'll have to play more ODIs
Yeah,
because
I
they
guess,
have
but
to prepare for the
I
World
don't
Cup.
know. Like maybe 27 is when the next World Cup is. If they do play ODIs, yeah, maybe we'll get to see a little more ODIs. But the trend has
I
been
think
that
we are playing a lot of
very
ODIs
few.
this time. I think they're going to Australia to play ODI if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, we are.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, we are. But I still don't think we have those many ODI games this year. But yeah. Uh, anyways, at the end of the day, it's a long career and it's a successful one. I think for Virat Kohli, and unfortunate to not see him hit the 10,000 mark. I think he would have been with the greats also as well as a batter then. It's just a little unfortunate, but I'm sure like it's still anyone who looks back on Virat Kohli's career will look back fondly and say, yeah, he was a Test great. So yeah, we'll just end it with that. Thanks everyone for watching. Please like and share the videos. Share your thoughts on how you're feeling after Virat Kohli's Test retirement. Should it have come before the England series? Should it not? And all of that. Yeah, like and share the videos. Subscribe to Sports Khabri. And we'll just see you soon. Bye bye.